can we make a moment to say the Maha Mantra together? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to 5,000-year-old wisdom. This wisdom goes beyond culture and circumstance. It is timeless and practical to this day. In life, excuses can often hold us back, missing out on opportunities that could lead us to our future dreams. Tonight, we'll show you why diving into the Bhagavad-Gita is an excellent option. The Bhagavad-Gita is the song of God, a dialogue between Lord Krishna and warrior Prince Arjuna. Revered globally as a beacon of wisdom, it is considered the essence of Vedic knowledge, with Lord Krishna as the source and Arjuna as its receiver. The Gita offers insights into life's challenges, from birth to death and beyond. Tonight's event will show you why it's time to set aside excuses and embrace the wisdom of the Bhagavad Gita as it is, and its profound spiritual text. Why choose the book version called Bhagavad Gita as it is by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada? Unlike other versions, it presents the Gita without personal opinions and reveals its true meaning. Just as following a medical prescription brings the greatest benefit, following Lord Krishna's instructions in the Gita leads to profound understanding, knowledge, spiritual elevation, and bliss. Gita, a 4-letter word, I have learnt to embrace by a beautiful acronym: G-I-T-A. G, to represent Guru, a bona fide teacher. We are blessed to have so many in Mombasa. I, to represent identity. We are the soul, not the body. The body is just the car or a bird cage. T, to represent 2 duties: material duty and spiritual duty. A, to represent Atma Rama. From spiritual knowledge comes eternal happiness. I have also learned, because of this book, the Bhagavad Gita, we now get worldwide footprint and consciousness via the ISKCON temple. To start tonight's event, I would like to request President of ISKCON Mombasa, His Grace Anandas Prabhuji, to say a few words.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Behalf of ISKCON Mombasa, we would like to offer our heartiest gratitude to Maharaj. He has come long way from UK to Mombasa to bless us with wisdom, real knowledge, because at present we are suffering because of lack of knowledge. So Maharaj today going to enlighten us with spiritual knowledge and bless to us. Hare Krishna. His Holiness Keshav Bhagavan Maharaj ki.
Thank you, Anandas Prabhuji, for your wisdom. Can I please request His Grace Govind Prem Prabhuji to introduce the Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. Let's have a big round of applause for our guest today. So amongst us we have His Holiness Svayam Bhagavan Keshav Swami, who is a sannyasi. Actually, he's the youngest sannyasi in ISKCON, and his journey started over 25 years ago. Maharaj is a graduate from UCL London, and he had a graduate, I think so, a degree in computer science. And he joined ISKCON when he was 21 years old as a monk. When you become a monk and you become a sannyasi, you have a lifetime vow for renunciation. And Maharaj is very expert in teaching the Bhagavad-Gita. And Maharaj is he's the head monk at the Bhaktivedanta Manor in London. How many of you been to the Bhaktivedanta Manor at the UK? Yeah. So Maharaj is the head monk there. And because of Maharaj's inspiration, 60,000 people visit the manor during Janmashtami. And during Diwali and New Year, 100,000 people. And Maharaj has a tent there, whereby also he has a course, Gita Life, whereby they teach. So Maharaj is not an ordinary person. Last year, 2023, Maharaj took 100 flights all over the world, spreading the message of Bhagavad-Gita. Just recently, he gave a talk at Google and Apple in California, and he was also at the University of Princeton, and many different universities he's been teaching. So today we are very fortunate that Maharaj has come to Mombasa. This is his third time here, and we hope we can get some knowledge, not only to hear, but to practice. So let us warmly welcome Maharaj to the stage. Are we doing that right now? Where's the... Ankit, are we doing that? Okay, I'll just pass it back to Ankit, sorry.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Now, without further ado, let's welcome our guest speaker of tonight's event. All the way from London, His Holiness Svayam Bhagavan Keshav Maharaj, and tonight's event facilitator, Mr. Hoshil Gandhi. Let's welcome them with 3 loud cheers of Hari Bol. Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hari Bol!
One, right? Okay. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Welcome back to Mombasa. If you remember last time, we had a similar debate, and it was eye-opening, to say the least. But we're going to move forward from last time. I have a difficulty in picking up the Bhagavad-Gita. We ended last year's talk by suggesting that the most profound wisdom can be found in the Bhagavad-Gita and in the as it is version by Swami Prabhupada. So I tried to read the Bhagavad-Gita, and in the very first chapter, I see that there are two entities. There is one called Arjuna and another called Krishna. Arjuna is giving reasons that he doesn't want to fight a war. And he gives a list of reasons. And to me, it sounded like very sound reasoning as to why he should not fight. But on the other hand, Krishna is stressing on fighting the war. So I find that religion is causing a lot of problems. Why would Krishna force Arjuna to fight when he did not want to fight?
You can't hear? Okay, can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. So our first question begins with understanding why Krishna is promoting war, why Krishna is telling Arjuna to fight. Who thinks war is a good thing in the world? No one? Now here we have Krishna who is telling Arjuna, engage in war. Krishna who is telling Arjuna, Arjuna is saying, I should go to the forest. I should be a peaceful sadhu. That will be better than engaging in war, because in war people die. In war people suffer. In wartime people undergo so many difficulties. Arjuna says to Krishna, I don't think this war is a good thing. And Krishna, who's the supreme person, the Purna Purushottam, is telling Arjuna, you must fight. Is it confusing? The first thing to understand is that Krishna did everything he could to avoid the war. Krishna came as the messenger of the Pandavas to the Kauravas and offered many suggestions for how to create a peaceful solution. And the Kauravas, headed by Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana, did they say yes or no? No. So Krishna did everything. And only when there was no other solution, Krishna told Arjuna that you have to fight. Sometimes you also have to correct people. Put your hands up here if you have children. Okay. Put your hands up if you have ever told your children off for doing something wrong. Put your hands up if you ever became angry with your children. How can you become angry with your children? You should be nice to them. But being angry sometimes is necessary to show your love. Because sometimes people have to be corrected. And therefore, Krishna told Arjuna that you have to fight because you're fighting for a higher principle. And the last thing is we should never compare the Kurukshetra battle to the wars of this world. The Kurukshetra battle is nothing like the Ukraine-Russia war. The Kurukshetra battle is nothing like the war in Israel. The Kurukshetra battle is not like any of the World War I or World War II. Because the Kurukshetra battle was fought under dharmic principles. Whereas in the wars of the world today, there is no dharma. They will launch a missile and kill thousands of innocent people. But Kurukshetra battle was not like that. It was a dharma yudh. It was a war which was fought according to righteous principles. And for these three reasons, there was nothing wrong with Krishna telling Arjuna to fight. Because number one, Krishna did everything he could to avoid Number two, fighting is sometimes necessary to improve. And number three, even when they did fight, it was done under religious principles.
Okay, so you're saying that the war of Kurukshetra was fought on religious principles. But nowadays, you see a lot of religious people promoting hate speech, promoting violence, and then they use the scriptures as evidence that, look, this is what the scripture says, that we need to overpower other people to forcefully convert them. So there's a lot of hypocrisy in religion that I feel.
So you're saying religion is full of hypocrisy, religion creates conflict, religion creates war between people, and maybe if we got rid of religion, that would be better. Are the countries in the world which don't have any religion the most peaceful countries in the world? Are the countries in the world where there's no religion, is there no hypocrisy in those countries? Is it that in the place where there is no religion, then somehow everyone is living harmoniously as friends together with no problems? No. The problem is not religion. The problem is the people who misunderstand and don't understand their own religion. And therefore, the problem, if you want to solve the problem, you don't take out religion. What you do is you remove the people who misunderstand the religion. And therefore, rather than trying to put all the blame on religion, we should understand that the cause of war, the cause of conflict, the cause of hypocrisy, and the cause of all other problems in the world are people who have material attachments and material desires, and they can use anything, including religion, to create problems in the world. So the solution is not to get rid of religion. The solution is to rectify bad religious practitioners.
I agree with that point, but it's very difficult to find genuine spiritual practitioners. It is the ones who are not genuine. They are the ones who make the loudest noise, and they are the ones at the forefront, at the heads of different religious organizations. Like sometimes you go to a spiritual place, and over there you can observe, as you said, material afflictions. Like there's pride involved. You can see pride between the practitioners. You can see one-upping another person, trying to, there's no humility, and all of these things are what you would expect from a spiritual place. And hence, I find that I cannot give myself to an organized religion, because if I do, then I will be put under I would come under a bad religious leader, and I will become one of the hypocritical ones.
So you're saying there are hypocritical leaders, there are bad leaders in the world, and it seems that everyone who's in power is bad. And similarly in religion, it seems as though all the leaders are also full of hypocrisy. Therefore, you don't want to follow organized religion. We can either choose to see the bad, or we can also choose to see the good. In everything in life, there will be good and bad. In politics, there are good politicians, there are bad politicians. In journalists, there are good journalists and there are bad journalists. In salespeople, there are good ones and ones who will exploit you. In every single area of life, you will find good and bad. Because there are bad politicians, does it mean you say we don't want any prime minister? Just because there are bad people who exploit you when they sell you things, do you say I'll never buy anything for the rest of my life? Just because there is bad media that gives you misinformation, does that mean you say I will never watch the news again? No. Rather, you have to see that there is bad and good, and as an intelligent person, you should be able to discriminate between what is bad and good and focus on the good and get the benefit from it that you can get from it.
That makes a lot of sense. Now, if the aim of religion is to make us morally good, if the aim of religion is to make us morally good people, then I would prefer to practically help the world. Like during the coronavirus pandemic, or whenever there is a natural disaster, then you have organizations like Red Cross and other humanitarian organizations who are out and about and trying to reduce the distress of the people who are affected. How does spirituality fit into that? Like, spirituality to me seems to be very self-centered. How is it helping other people? How can you be a vessel to help other people?
In the world there is suffering, and there is suffering on different levels. There is suffering on the physical level. People are being attacked, people have health issues, people are starving. These are sufferings on the physical level. Then there is suffering on the mental level. Some people have depression, some people have stress, anxiety, some people feel loneliness. This is suffering on the mental level. And then there is suffering on the spiritual level. Sometimes people have everything. They have 2 cars, 2 phones, 2 houses, 2 of everything. They have good mental health, but still inside of them, they're suffering because they feel they haven't found inner happiness. They haven't become an Atmaram. So there is suffering on different levels. Humanitarian organizations help to solve suffering on the physical level. Counselors and therapists and other people help to solve problems on the mental level. But only spiritual people can help to solve people's suffering on the deepest level. Even if you provide people all of the material facilities, you still don't eradicate their suffering, because the deepest suffering is the suffering that comes from forgetting God. Even if you have material wealth, material possessions, even if you have education, achievement, position, still within your heart, you will feel unhappy. And the only ones who can come and tell you why you're unhappy are spiritual people. And therefore, if you say we're not practically helping the world, I will tell you that there are different ways in which you can practically help the world. And the deepest way you can practically help the world is by helping to teach people who they are and how to find eternal spiritual happiness. Do you want to be happy?
Definitely.
So if I help you to be happy, is that practical?
Definitely.
So then we're practically helping the world.
Okay, I'm just going to open it up to the audience for a few minutes. Does anyone have any questions? Yeah?
You did, otherwise they can't hear you.
Hare Krishna. I fully agree with Maharaj, what he just now said, because in America, one of the psychiatrists who was practicing for more than 40 years, he says in his last career of 30, 40 years, 95% of the clients, his clients, were not believing in religion. That's why they needed that psychiatrist service. So I believe you.
Thank you. Yes. Yes.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Maharaj, you had just described that there are good spiritual advisors and bad spiritual advisors. How does a layman understand that this person is taking me on a right journey and this person is not taking me on a right journey? And as Hoshil Bhai had said that even those, the ones who are making the loudest noise, are actually taking you on a completely wrong direction. So how does a normal lay person, a person with no spiritual background, knowledge, how does he identify a good spiritual leader?
Did you go to university?
Yes.
Which university?
Manchester.
Why did you decide to go to Manchester?
It was a reputed university.
And how did you decipher that this is reputable?
Read around, researched.
So there you go, same thing. If you want to know who is a real guru, then do your research. Try to see what are they teaching. Does it tally with what the scriptures are saying? See, when they teach people, how do those people turn out? What is the success rate? What is the graduation rate? When that guru teaches, meet the disciples, ask them questions. When you do all of these things and you do your research, then you can understand who is real and who is fake. But nowadays, when people want to find a teacher or a guru, they don't do any research. If the guru can give them blessings, ashirvat, material things, then they think, oh, very nice guru. But they don't ask the guru, who am I? Who is God? How do I love God? They don't observe what effect does the guru's teachings have on other people. They don't study scripture and see, is the guru saying what the scripture is saying? Srila Prabhupada said that a guru only repeats the words of God. So therefore, finding a guru is not cheap. Finding a guru requires one to do research. Just as you did research before you went to University of Manchester. And because you did your research, you went to a good university. And because you went to a good university, you graduated. And because you graduated from a good university, now you're so successful in your life. So in the same way, if you research, then you find a proper guru, and then you follow that guru, and you live those teachings in your life, then you will find eternal spiritual happiness. Why don't they should just keep it on? Just keep it on.
Okay. Now, my next topic that I want to take on is that something that we are all experiencing. We are all experiencing that we don't have time. We don't have time. So, I'm a recently married man. So I'm a family man now. And there are so many duties that I'm starting to realize that I have to fulfill. And these duties take a lot of my time. So how do we just sideline our material duties and focus on spirituality? That doesn't seem to me to be very practical.
Put your hands up if you feel in your life you have no time for spirituality. Everyone's scared. They think I will pick on them. Let me first ask you, what are the main ways in which people waste time in their life? Can you tell me? You can shout out. Facebook. Someone once messaged me and said, get off Facebook and put your face into a book. Social media. Time waster number one. What other ways do we waste time? Yeah, social media, we can take that as one. TV, the one-eyed guru. What other ways do you waste time? Playing cards. Sleeping. How many hours do you sleep? 7, 8, 9. So we say we don't have time, but first thing is we're wasting so much time. Second thing is we say we don't have time, but then we have time to go and watch the movies. But then we have time to do what we really want to do. In other words, sometimes it's not a question of having time, it's a question of what do you want to use your time for. So that's the second thing. And then the third thing is that for Krishna consciousness, for spirituality, you don't actually require extra time. All you need to do is while you're going about your daily activities, bring Krishna into the picture. What does Krishna say to Arjuna in Bhagavad-Gita? Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mamano smarayudhyacha mayarpita mano buddhir mameva isyasya samsayah. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu, at all times, ma manusmara, remember me, yudhyacha, and at the same time fight. So when you're driving, can you listen to a lecture about Krishna? Yeah? When you're walking along Niali beach, can you not take your beads and chant Krishna's names? Yes. When you cook every day at home, can you not offer the food to Krishna? Yes. When you bring up your children and you put them to bed at night, can't you tell them a story of Krishna? Yes. So do you need that much extra time? All you need to do is you need to do your daily activities, but ma manusmara, bring Krishna in, remember Krishna. And in that way, you remember Krishna all the time. You don't need any extra time. Krishna becomes part of your daily life.
I understand your point that you can integrate Krishna into daily life. But sometimes that is even too difficult because our mind is constantly running. Oh, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do this. So sometimes it's very difficult to bring Krishna into our mind because our mind is just too active. And I can't focus on that.
Therefore, Krishna says you have to begin the day. How you begin the day will define the rest of your day. If you begin the day thinking of Krishna, then throughout the day you will remember Krishna. But if you begin the day stressed out about all the things that you have to do, then throughout the day you will be stressed out about all the things you have to do. Therefore, the first thing, if anyone wants to be spiritual, is you must do sadhana. Sadhana means every day in the morning, before the world is moving, before the messages are coming on your phone, before the notifications are coming on social media, before the emails are coming into your inbox, before all the problems are starting, first connect with your deepest spiritual self. Connect with God. First chant God's names. First read about God. And then when you start the day like that, and then you go and enter the world, you won't be overpowered by the mind because you started the day in the right way.
Okay, I see how that works. But isn't this easier to do in the future when I won't have those many duties? Because then I would get quality time and I'll have more time to think about Krishna when I don't have all these duties. So can't I just do it in the future? Why should I do it now?
Once there was a cartoon and it had a picture of a young person and it said spirituality too young. Then the child was a student and it said spirituality, too busy with studies. Then the person had graduated and he had got married and he said, spirituality, just got married. Then the person was older and he was established in his corporate career and he said, spirituality, too stressed out. And then later on, the person had grown up into old age and it said, spirituality, too many health problems. And then finally the person was in their grave and he said, spirituality, too late. Too late. The young people say, I'll do it when I'm old. The old people say, I wish I did it when I was young. The middle-aged people are saying to their kids, you do it, and telling their grandparents, you do it, but they're not doing it themselves. In every stage of life, we have so many excuses. What we have to understand is that spirituality will help us in our life right now. Spirituality is not only for the afterlife. Spirituality is for the here life. If you want to know how to make good decisions, read Bhagavad-Gita. If you want to know how to have good relationships, read Bhagavad-Gita. If you want to know how to avoid stress and burnout in your life, read Bhagavad-Gita. If you want to know how to avoid temptation, read Bhagavad-Gita. No use reading Bhagavad-Gita at the end once you've made all the mistakes. Rather, read it first and live your best life.
That was quite profound. That was quite profound. That spirituality is something that we can imbibe to improve our life, not in the future, but here and now. Okay. I just want to open it up again to the audience. Does the audience have any more questions?
This lady here. You can bring her the mic. Yeah, this lady here.
Jai Shri Krishna. Just wanted to find out, is there any difference between religion and spirituality?
The goal of religion and spirituality is the same. The word religion comes from the Latin, ligare. Re means again, ligare means to connect. So religion literally means that process which connects you back to God. Spirituality means that process by which you go beyond the material and you connect with the spiritual reality. So a true religious person is spiritual. And true spirituality can only be based on genuine religious teachings. But the reason why most people don't like religion today is because religion causes problems, religion becomes very materialistic, religion becomes just about rituals and culture, and it's missing the essence. And therefore people say, I'm spiritual, but not religious. But if you follow religion in its essence, then you'll become the most spiritual person. And you can't become spiritual if you don't follow authentic religious teachings that come from God. Because then it's just your own mind and your own ideas. So in essence, religion and spirituality are the same. And in practice, sometimes religions become very materialistic, so people don't like religion. So then fine, but you still must follow authentic religious teachings. And then you can actually become spiritual. Is that okay?
Hare Krishna, Maharaj. Maharaj, you had mentioned to read the Bhagavad-Gita. So I have two questions. Why the Bhagavad-Gita? I mean, is there no other book to read for spiritual teachings? Why do you recommend the Bhagavad-Gita?
Okay, let's deal with that one first.
Okay. No, it's related, so you
Okay,
can.
all right.
So if we assume that we have to read the Bhagavad-Gita, the market has 100 plus Bhagavad-Gitas. So how do we choose? I mean, are they all the same? Are they different, or how do we deal with that?
So first question is, why should we read Bhagavad-Gita? Why not read any other book? Why not read the Ramayana, the Mahabharata, the Puranas, the Vedas? Why not read the Quran, the Bible? Why not read Harry Potter? Why Bhagavad-Gita? First thing to understand is, if you read any religious book with purity and sincerity, you will get spiritual benefit from it. If you read any of the world scriptures, if they are translated with purity and you read it with purity, of course you will become spiritual. In the Vedic Hindu tradition, there are many books, and if you read any of them, of course you will advance. The reason we stress the Bhagavad-Gita is because the Bhagavad-Gita is known as the essence of all Vedic knowledge. There is a very famous verse, Sarvapa nishado gavo dogda go palanandana parthavatsa sudhir bhokta dugdam gitam ritam mahat. Sarvapa nishado gavo. If you imagine all of the scriptures to be like a cow. Dogda Gopala Nandana. There is Krishna who is Gopal Nandan. Krishna is like the Dugda. He's milking that cow. And then from that cow, of all the scriptures, Krishna is milking, and there is a vatsa, a calf. And that calf is drinking the milk. And what is that milk that is coming out? Dugdam, Gitam, Mritam Mahat is the Bhagavad-Gita. So why does a cow exist? To give milk. So if the cow of all the Vedic scriptures is milked for its essence, then the essence that comes out is the Bhagavad-Gita. Therefore, in this one book of 700 verses, every single person who follows the Vedic teachings, even if they have different opinions on so many things, the one thing they will agree on is that Bhagavad-Gita has all the main philosophical teachings you need to understand. And therefore, Bhagavad-Gita is the most important book. Now, there are many, many versions of the Bhagavad-Gita out there in the world. How do you know which version to read? The same thing. How did you know that you should go to the University of Manchester? Because you did the research. So do the research. When people read this version of the Bhagavad-Gita, who has authorized it? Who is reading it? What kind of effect is it having on them? Look at the accuracy of how they've translated the Bhagavad-Gita. And therefore, we are presenting to the world Bhagavad-Gita as it is. Srila Prabhupada said, this Bhagavad-Gita that we have translated, you can see how we've translated word for word. There's no mystery. You can see. And the ultimate proof that the Bhagavad-Gita as it is has not been changed. The ultimate proof is that when people read it, they become devoted to Krishna. Just look at all the devotees here. They are not from a Hindu background. They are not from a Hindu family, but they read Bhagavad-Gita, and it created a transformation in them. But the amazing thing is, sometimes the people who grow up in the tradition, they don't read Bhagavad-Gita. and therefore there's no transformation. Arjuna was sitting next to Krishna in the first chapter of the Bhagavad-Gita, but still his life was full of so many problems. He's right next to Krishna, like this. But still his life is full of so many problems. But in the 18th chapter of the Bhagavad-Gita, the distance is the same, but now Arjuna is a different person. What's the difference? Because in chapter 1, Arjuna was close to Krishna, but he wasn't listening to Krishna. But by the 18th chapter, he was the same distance, but now he was listening to Krishna. We think, I am close to Krishna. I come to the temple every week. I am close to Krishna. Bhagavad-Gita was in my home all my life. I am close to Krishna. I am Hindu. This is my tradition. My grandfather, my forefathers were all Hindu. But just being close isn't enough. You have to read. You have to read Bhagavad-Gita. How many of us here have read all 700 verses of the Bhagavad-Gita? How many of you, if your child came to you and said, Mummy, Papa, what does Krishna say in Bhagavad-Gita? Would you be able to explain? Would you be able to tell them? What about if they say, Mummy, how do I tell someone that Krishna definitely exists? Would you be able to answer their question? If you don't read Bhagavad-Gita, you can be close to Krishna, but still life will be full of so many problems. And therefore, we should not waste the opportunity. We're close to Krishna because we grew up in this tradition. Now don't waste the opportunity. Read Bhagavad-Gita and live it in your life and see how it changes everything in a very beautiful way. And that will be the ultimate proof. Then you'll know definitely Bhagavad-Gita, this is the real one. Is that okay?
In regards to the earlier question, you said most organized religions have missed the essence of religion. So what is the essence of religion?
So there's a verse in the Sanskrit literature. Save pumsham paro dharmo yato bhakti radhoksajay ahaituki apratihata yenatma suprasidati. The ultimate purpose of religion is that one develops bhakti, one develops love, one develops devotion. When we learn to love God, then you will be able to love your family, then you will be able to love everything and everyone around you. But if you don't have love for God, then you can have all the material things, but still you will experience so many problems in your life. So the essence of religion is that which helps you to awaken love for God, prema, bhakti. And so whether one is a Christian, a Hindu, a Muslim, one can only say they're truly religious if they have love for God in their heart. Otherwise, what is the meaning of that religion? Is that okay?
Swamiji, namaste and namaste to all. My name is Yashpal and I want to ask about the difference between religion and dharma. Because our great rishis, maharishis, and we think Vedas are the first book of Hindu religion, and not Bhagavad-Gita, and not Ramayana, and not Mahabharata. Bhagavad-Gita is just the chapters, 18 chapters taken from Mahabharata. Maharishi Vedvyas, he also wrote the explanation on Yoga Darshana. We have 6 philosophy books: Yoga Darshan, Sankhya Darshan, Vaiseshika Darshan, Nyaya Darshan, Mimamsa Darshan. So, and we Hindus, mostly people, they don't know even definition of Darshana. Darshana, Yoga Darshan, Sankhya Darshan, Vaiseshika Darshan. I read Bhagavad-Gita, I also teach Bhagavad-Gita, but I think, and Swamiji, as you mentioned, that Upanishads, Bhagavad-Gita is the essence of all Upanishads. And I have read 11 Upanishads. There is a big difference, not big difference, but we cannot say Bhagavad-Gita is the essence of all Upanishads.
Okay, so is that your question?
My question
What's
is...
your question exactly?
My question is, Yado Maharishi Manu says, Yato Abhyuday Nishira Siddhi se dharma. So what is the, first question, what is the difference between religion and dharma? What is dharma and where does it come from, dharma? My question. And also...
So what is dharma? Is that your question?
Yes, what is dharma?
All right, let's deal with that.
Yes. Not religion, Muslim religion, Christian religion, they are religion. We Hindus have 100 sects of religion. We don't go to each other temples. What is the solution of this?
Okay,
We say, Swamiji, we say Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. Another temple we go, we say Jai Sri Ram. We say Jai Swami Narayana. But because I also teach children about those HRE, our Hindu children. I'm in RE school teacher. We also teach a lot of differences which is unbelievable and which is beyond our, or what is the solution of, so that we can come to one
I got
conclusion.
your point.
Thank
Okay, so we'll talk about dharma. What is dharma? It's not my opinion. I'm not telling you anything which is my opinion. I'm quoting Shastra here. Ahara nidra bhayametunam cha samanametat bashubhi shamanaha dharmo hitesho adhiko vishesho dharmena hina pashubhi shamanaha. What is dharma? The Shastra is telling very clearly what is dharma. If you look at humans and animals, they all do 4 things. Ahara, they eat. Nidra, they sleep. Bhaya, they fight. Maituna, they mate. Animals and humans both do these 4 activities. Am I right? So what's the difference between a human and an animal? Dharmena hina pashubhi samanaha. If you don't have dharma, this is the added possibility for the human being that they can follow dharma. And what does dharma mean? To understand who am I, who is God, and what is my relationship of love with Him. If you know the answer to these 3 questions, you know dharma. Krishna says, Vedescha sarver aham eva vedyo vedanta krit vedavit eva chaham. Krishna is saying, Vedescha sarver aham eva vedyo. I am the knower of all the Vedas. Vedanta krit vedavit eva chaham. Krishna is saying, I am the one who created all the Vedas, because who's the compiler of the Vedas? Vyasadev. And who is Vyasadev? Krishna Dvaipayana Vyas. So all the Vedas were written by Krishna. And if Krishna is the compiler of the Vedas and the knower of the Vedas, then when Bhagavad-Gita emanates from Krishna's mouth, then he is telling you the conclusion of the Vedas. And therefore, we don't have the intelligence to understand all of the Upanishads. We don't have the intelligence and the patience to read all of the Vedas. Most of us struggle to read even one book. How you will read all the Upanishads? Therefore, Krishna gave us Bhagavad-Gita, because in Bhagavad-Gita, the essence of the Vedas is to be found. And in Bhagavad-Gita, the ultimate purpose of Dharma is revealed. And therefore, I'm not saying Krishna himself is saying, and Vyasadeva, who compiled all the Vedas, is saying that the essence of everything is contained within Bhagavad-Gita. Okay? We'll give others a chance. You can ask later. We give others a chance to question. No, sorry, we have to give everyone a chance, then we'll come back to you. Okay? Yeah.
In Bhagavad-Gita, all the 700 slokas or verses are in Sanskrit only. You know, everybody cannot go and understand the Sanskrit. Even if you go to Kannada, Telugu, Tamil, or English, Hindi, people can read the verses, but they cannot understand in Sanskrit. That's why the people are failing, or they cannot understand. We are also reciting the slokas, but we don't know the real meaning of that one. So how to understand the next generation?
Thank you so much. Very nice question. So we don't know Sanskrit. We don't know the language of Bhagavad-Gita. So how are we going to be able to understand? We may misunderstand. Therefore, we have to go to a teacher who knows Sanskrit. We have to go to a teacher who not only knows Sanskrit, but one who is also a devotee of Krishna. A Sanskrit scholar cannot teach Bhagavad-Gita to you. Because what does Krishna say in Bhagavad-Gita? Sa evaya maya tedya yoga prokta puratana bhaktosi me sakha cheti rahasyam hyetadutamam. The person who really understands Bhagavad-Gita is the one who is a bhakta. Bhaktyamam abhijanati. Through bhakti you can understand Krishna. So therefore, when you find a guru who knows Sanskrit, but more importantly, who is a devotee of Krishna, then that person, even though you cannot understand Sanskrit, if you learn from such a person, then you will also understand the essence of Gita. Most people, they try to understand the Shastra on their own. But then all that happens is they become very confused. Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, Vakya, Chitete, Koriya, Aikya is mentioned in Sanskrit. If you want to know Shastra, then you have to go to Guru and Sadhu. Because through Guru and Sadhu, you can understand Shastra. Therefore, many people read, but they come to the wrong conclusion because they don't have a proper teacher. Therefore, the first thing that Arjuna does in Bhagavad-Gita, what does he do? Shishyasteham sadhimam tvam prapannam. Krishna, I am your student. Please teach me. So that humility allows one to learn. Is that okay? Thank you so much. Anyone here? Any questions?
I think that was a good range of questions that we have got. And thinking about it, it's true that it's harder to learn something from a textbook, but easier to understand it from a person who understands the textbook. So my follow-up question is, you say that we need to find Guru and Sadhu. And you've already mentioned many qualities that we can check. And you said research it. Research it so that you understand who is the right one. So can you just summarize again, what is the checklist that we need to look for to see that this is a person who has understood the Gita and not any, say, Tom, Dick and Harry?
In the Bhagavad-Gita, Krishna gives many, many characteristics of one who is a self-realized soul. So for example, Krishna says, Abhayam sattvasam sudir jnana yoga vyavastiti Danam damascha yagyascha svadhyayas tapa arjavam ahimsa satyam akrodas tyaga kshantirapeshunam daya bhuteshvaloluptvam mardavam re rachapalam. Krishna gives many, many qualities. If you ever meet someone who is abhayam, who has no fear, that's a good sign. Sattva, if you ever meet someone whose habits are always in sattva gun, very good habits, that's a good sign. Ahimsa, if you ever meet someone who doesn't want to commit violence towards any living being, that's a good sign. Jnana yoga vyavastiti, if you meet someone who has studied, who can answer your questions, and who can explain the world around us, who you are, who is God, that's a good sign. Tyaga, if you meet someone who is detached from material things. Kshantir, if you meet someone who is very, very peaceful. Mardavam, if you meet someone who is very, very simple in their habits. These are all the qualities. These are all the checklists which tell you, yes, this is a person who is actually not just speaking Bhagavad-Gita, but who is actually living Bhagavad-Gita.
That's amazing. And as much as I feel like I'm getting convinced by your counter examples to my excuses, I kind of feel that maybe the time has passed. Like I feel like a lost cause. I feel, again, as one gentleman here said, that we don't know Sanskrit. So we don't feel intelligent enough to understand the nectar or the essence of the Bhagavad-Gita. So should we just give ourselves or surrender ourselves to somebody, as you mentioned, is a self-realized soul?
So therefore I told you, you do research. You can read some of the Bhagavad-Gita, you can speak to the people who are living the Bhagavad-Gita, you can check the teacher, you can hear from them, you can put a little bit of faith in a teacher and see how much you learn. And then you can put more faith and then you can learn more. So go step by step on the journey. Ultimately, anything in this life required faith. How many of you have taken a flight in the plane in the last 1 year? Put your hand up. How many of you personally knew the pilot who was flying you? No one. So why did you step on the plane? How can you put faith in someone you don't even know? But you did it, because if you don't put faith in something, you can't go anywhere. When you went to University of Manchester, did you know the professors who would teach you? Did you research what their credentials were? Did you look at their character and see that they didn't have a criminal record? But you listened from them. You put some faith. One of them was a criminal. But you put some faith, you learned, and you got the knowledge, and you applied. So in everything you have to put some faith. Ado Shraddha. In the beginning, there must be faith. But you put faith in everything in the world. How many of you got married? Did you do a criminal record check on your husband or wife? How you can get married to someone without doing a criminal record check? Maybe there are some, but you did. Because Shraddha. It's a nice word, no? Shraddha means, Rid means the heart. And Dha means to place. So you have to put your heart into something, and then you can go on the journey.
That's amazing. Just one sticking point that kind of prevents people to wholeheartedly put their faith in spiritual text is that we have grown up believing in science textbooks, in believing in basically modern science. And modern
You were following the religion of science.
religion of science. Right? Yeah, so it's kind of difficult because in modern science, the principle is that if you cannot experience it, if you cannot see it, then how are you to believe it?
But even science themselves do not follow that. Have scientists ever recreated the Big Bang? Yes or no?
No.
Have scientists ever showed in a laboratory the process of evolution?
No.
Have science ever created life from chemicals?
No.
So, then according to science, you shouldn't believe them. Science and religion are not in competition. Science helps in a certain area of knowledge, and religion deals with other aspects of the universe that science cannot deal with. Science teaches you how to do things better. Religion teaches you how to do better things. Science teaches you about matter. Religion teaches you what matters. Science improves things. Spirituality improves people. So therefore, in the world today, they've created a division between science and spirituality, science and religion. Do you know that in the history of the world, science was born from religion? Did you know that? The first scientists in the world were the most religious people. And those scientists, do you know what they said? All we're doing by all our scientific research is finding out how God did His work. And therefore, science and spirituality go together. They are not separate. And if science says we can only believe what we can see, then straight away they have to disbelieve 80% of the things they're proposing to the world because they haven't seen, proved, or demonstrated any of those things.
Okay, so just going to open it up again to the audience. If anyone has any questions, please raise your hand.
Here, this gentleman here at the back. Just take the mic, go back for him. This person here at the back.
Hare Krishna. Mine is a simple one. Like, I wanted to know if you can enlighten us more about karma. Karma.
Karma, thank you. So karma has many definitions, but the most popular way we understand karma is it's the law of action and reaction. So the idea is that for every activity we perform, there is a reaction that we get. Why does Krishna arrange that for every action there is a reaction? Because the reaction is meant to help us a better way in which to live. So when you do something bad, you get a bad reaction. And why does the bad reaction come? To teach you a better way to live. So in this life now, we are experiencing karma from activities we did in previous lives. However, the karma that we're experiencing now, we still have free will in terms of how we respond to that karma, and how we use our free will in our karma now will determine our future situation. Does that make sense? So say for example, there are 4 things which are determined when you appear in this world. as a result of karma. The first thing is janma. The people, your family who you're surrounded by. This is one aspect of your karma. Aishwarya, wealth. This is another aspect of your karma. Some people are born into great wealth, some people are born into poverty. Shruta, intelligence. This is a result of karma. Some people have a very sharp intelligence, and some people it's a little slower. This is a result of karma. And Shri, beauty. Some people, very beautiful. And others, this is a result of karma. So therefore, we are all carrying karma from previous life. But you have the free will now to decide. When you walk out of the door today, you can make decisions, isn't it? You can make choices. And based on whatever choices and decision you make, your future karma will be created. And if you want to ultimately get out of the whole cycle of karma, then you need to go to the spiritual world. And therefore, when you do bhakti or devotion to God, when you connect all your activities to God, then you're freed from karma. Krishna says in Bhagavad-Gita, Yagyartat karmano nyatra lokoyam karma bandhana. The whole world is karma bandhana, is entangled in a network of karma. But the moment you do yagya, yagya means to connect all of your activities to God, then you generate no more karma. And therefore karma is here to teach us, but ultimately life is meant to escape karma and go back to the spiritual world with God. Is that okay? Yeah, who wants a follow-up? Give him the mic again.
There is one understanding I would like to. You said it's your past karmas coming into the present, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. We come through the animal stages to the human being. Do animals have karmas? Because how did it is decided that an animal's karma coming to human? You said somebody will be poor or rich depending on his karmas of the past. Now from the animal stage when he's entering the human stage, how is it decided that what he will become? Because as far as I feel, animals do not have karmas. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong.
No, nice question. So the Padma Purana explains that there are 8.4 million species of life. 8.4 million species of life. And of the 8.4 million species of life, there are 400,000 human species. So what happens is the Atma goes through all the animal forms. There's no karma generated because animals don't have discrimination. They act by impulse. But then the soul comes to the human form. And then in the human form we spend many, many lives. So in our last life we were most likely a human, but in a different situation. And before that we may have been another human in a different situation. Sometimes in the world today, children, small children, they can remember their past life. And they remember, oh, I was this person in this country, I did this was my father's name, this is how I died. So therefore, I'm saying we're carrying karma from previous lives because most likely we have been in human forms for many lives before coming to this human form in this life. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay, if there's any final question anyone wants to ask? Okay.
Jai Shri Krishna. I'm born Jain and married into a Hindu family. I wanted to know from some information from you. Is there a connection of Jainism and Hinduism?
Thank you so much. So we have an ancient scripture called the Bhagavad-Puran. And in the Bhagavad-Puran, which is made up of 12 cantos, in the 5th canto, there is a description of someone called Rishabdev. Rishabdev was an incarnation of Krishna. And Jainism can be traced back to Rishabdev. Later on, from the lineage of Rishabdev, there was a king called Arhat. And from that king Arhat, the Jain lineage came. I am also Shah. So I was also in this lineage. And then there are many Tirthankars, self-realized souls, and then there is Mahavir. Okay? So basically, if you look at many of the principles of Jainism and Bhagavad-Gita or Sanatan Dharma, many are universal. In the Bhagavad-Gita, we talk about karma. In Jainism, we talk about karma. In Bhagavad-Gita, we talk about reincarnation and the soul. In Jainism, same. In Bhagavad-Gita, we talk about how to live a pure life and not commit violence to others. In Jainism, the same. However, in the Bhagavad-Gita, more information is given about the spiritual reality. And therefore, Jainism involves us to a certain point, and then what happens is if we want further knowledge of the spiritual reality, then we can look into the Bhagavad-Gita, and that can give us even more detailed understanding of the spiritual world, of God. You can learn who is God, what's His name, what's His telephone number, what He does every single day. All these details are given. So what happens is the different religions of the world, they are all helping us to evolve towards an understanding. But they are all giving different details, different amounts of detail. Just like you can have a pocket dictionary and you can have the university dictionary. Both are true. But one is more detailed than the other one. But if you read both of them, you will get knowledge. So in the same way, different religions are helping us to advance, but different religions have different amount of detail of the ultimate spiritual reality. And therefore, between Jainism and Sanatan Dharma or Hinduism, they are elevating us towards the same direction, yet they have difference in the amount of detail of what they reveal to the world in theology. So, okay? Thank you. Okay, some more questions?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Since this question came for about Jainism and Sanatan Dharma, what I know that the current, we follow all choice Tirthankara, and this current series and the next series is going to come where the Lord Krishna is also one of our Tirthankara. So yes, definitely there must be a connection between the Sanatan Dharma and Jaina Dharma, because Jain Dharma also we follow that it is the oldest religion in what we follow, but as you said that Rishabdeva, when this Lord Krishna also was there, but what we have understood that when Neminath Bhagavan, our 21st Tirthankara was there, Lord Krishna was there. So Lord Krishna is going to be our next Tirthankara, that is what I know. Thanks.
Krishna appears in this world at a certain time in history. Krishna was on this planet 5,000 years ago. Therefore, sometimes people say Krishna is an incarnation of Vishnu because they see Krishna as appearing in this world at a certain time. But the Bhagavatam mentions Ete chamsha kalapumsha Krishnastu Bhagavan Svayam. Although Krishna appears in this world and performs activities at a certain time, Krishna is always existing in the spiritual world because Krishna is Sarva Karanam. Krishna is the cause of all causes. And therefore, for example, today, I came into this room through that door. So you can say, I came from the door. And that's a true statement. However, I existed before the door. I simply came through the door about 1.5 hours ago. But before that 1.5 hours, I was also existing outside. So therefore, Krishna appears at a historical time in this world. But we must understand, Krishna's tu Bhagavan Svayam. Krishna is Anadir, Adir, Govinda. Krishna has no origin. Krishna is Purushan, Puranam. He is the oldest and the original personality. This is what the Vedic scriptures are explaining. Thank you so much. Yes?
Hare Krishna. I just want you to shed some light, and I guess even you can agree with me. Every chapter of the Bhagavad-Gita is very important, but the 15th Adhyay, Purushottam Yoga, actually explains the Gita in whole. And you can just shed some light towards that chapter, because I feel that is the most important chapter that sums up everything.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
The 15th chapter of the Bhagavad-Gita is known as Purushottam Yoga. Basically, the 15th chapter of the Bhagavad-Gita, Krishna is giving an analogy. Today, if you go to a lake and there is a tree by the lake, then if you look into the lake, what will you see? A reflection of the tree, isn't it? So Krishna in the 15th chapter, he says that this world is like a reflection. And that this world is not the real world. The real world is the spiritual world. The real world is Vaikuntha, the place where there's no anxiety. And therefore in the 15th chapter, Krishna says that the purpose of life is to go from the shadow, the reflection, and go back to the real world, in the spiritual world with the Purushottam, with the Supreme Person, Krishna. And so every day as we're walking through this world, we should realize this world is just a transit lounge. When I came to Kenya, I came from Frankfurt. But I stopped at Addis in Ethiopia. And I stopped at the airport for 4 hours. Now, if I stopped in the airport thinking that I'm going to live in Addis Ababa for the rest of my life, I'd be crazy. I came in on one flight, and 4 hours later, I'm going to go on another flight. I'm only there for some time. Friends, we are only in this world for a short time. We have to understand from which flight did I come here? And what flight am I going to take to my next destination? And in the 15th chapter, Krishna says, if you're wise, then you will take the flight to Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha Airways. No visa required. Simply some bhakti in the heart. And then you can enter into the eternal world. And in the eternal world, every step is a dance. Every word is a song. Every relationship is a relationship of love. And in the spiritual world, where Purushottam exists, you can actually find eternal happiness. And this is what Krishna explains in the 15th chapter. Thank you. Okay. This gentleman here. Just if you put your hand up, then he will come to you. Yeah. Finished? Last question. This is the last question.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I think regarding 3 questions which were very pertinent this evening. One was on difference between religion and Dharma. The other one was why the Gita. And the other one was why the Gita is not the, as we are saying, that the most important book for the Hindus. These are 3 aspects, 3 questions. As far as my half knowledge goes, Srimad Bhagavatam starts with Satyam Param Dhimahi. And it ends with Satyam Param Dhimahi. Dhimahi is the Gayatri mantra. And Gayatri Ma is the Ved Mata. So the essence of all the Vedas is Satyam. And what is the Satyam? In the Gita, you look at all our Puranas. The only place where Shri Krishna Uvacha, God Himself, has spoken. God Himself, Shri Krishna.
Yeah. So you're saying the Srimad Bhagavatam is the essence, yes?
What I'm saying, that the essence of Vedas is Satya. That Satya was brought onto earth by none other than Shri Krishna. Which Shri Krishna? Kaun hai ye Shri Shankar?
Okay, what's your question? What's exactly your question?
What I'm trying to say, is these 3 questions. I'm giving you a summary. If I'm wrong or I'm right, you will let me know.
Sure.
This is our understanding. Right?
So say in one line, what's your summary?
Satyam Param Dhimahi. Then comes Shri Krishna Uvacha. He speaks in the Gita himself. And who is Shri Krishna? When he was young, he showed Virat Sarup to Yashoda Mata. With Arjun, he showed the Virat Sarup. You know what the Virat Sarup is? All the planets. That was the proof. Ke ye bhai, jo bhi hai ne, as you said, is Krishna.
Okay.
Param Avatari is Krishna. Therefore, the Gita, that is the truth and nothing but the truth, because it has been spoken by Shri Krishna.
The Gita?
God, yes.
Okay.
It's been spoken by God Himself. And Srimad Bhagavatam, if you go through Gita, is part of it.
Okay,
so this is it. Dharma, when she spoke about Dharma, Dharma is the prescribed duty. What is your prescribed duty? Shri Krishna has said, ye char varna hai, ye char.
Okay. What's your name, Prabhu?
My name is Bharat Bhai Bhatt. I am the chairman of Gayatri
Thank
Temple.
you so much. Round of applause
Mombasa.
for Bharat.
Yeah?
Thank you so much.
So,
wonderful. Thank you for your contribution. Yes. Bhagavad-Gita is the essence, as we mentioned, Gita Upanishad. Sometimes people are saying we should read the Vedas. Sometimes people are saying we should read the Upanishads. But if you read Bhagavad-Gita, that's the essence of everything. And when you want to understand in more detail what Krishna has spoken in Bhagavad-Gita, then you can read Srimad Bhagavatam. Sarve Vedanta Saram Hi Srimad Bhagavatam Ishyate Tadrasamrita Triptasya Na Anyatra Svad Rati Kvachit. Sarva Vedanta Saram Hi. If you want to know the further essence of the Sarva Vedanta, all the Vedic scriptures, Srimad Bhagavatam Ishyate. So Bhagavad Gita is the words of Krishna, and Srimad Bhagavatam is the activities of Krishna. And if you read these 2 books, which were given to us by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, he translated Bhagavad Gita, and today we have Bhagavad Gita here at the back. So please take the book with you. And Srila Prabhupada also translated the entire Srimad Bhagavatam, which has all the knowledge of Krishna's avatars. So if you read these 2 books, as you mentioned, Bharatji, this is the essence of everything. This is the Sarva Vedanta, the Sarva Upanishado. Everything is contained within these books. If you want to understand Dharma, then we need to follow this. And one final thing we'll share with all of you. Thank you so much for coming this evening. As we were mentioning today, thank you. As we were mentioning, many of us grow up in this tradition. but we have not taken the time to read Bhagavad-Gita or understand. If we are honest, even I was the same. I grew up in a Hindu family, and Bhagavad-Gita was on the shelf for many years. But only when I was 15 years old did I read it. So for many of us, the Shastra has been in our house, in our lineage for many years, but we haven't taken the time to understand it properly. So what we're offering you is we are going to do a 5-week course on Bhagavad-Gita. In these 5 weeks, you will be able to understand all the basics of the Bhagavad-Gita so that you can explain it to anyone, and then you will be able to go and read the Bhagavad-Gita for yourself and understand it. Does it sound like a good idea? Will you come? Okay. So Hoshil will tell us more about this wonderful course that we're offering to all of you. And please, when you leave today, we have many books, so you can please take a book with you. And these books are written in such a way that it will help you to understand more deeply. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. So, just as Maharaj mentioned, from next week Friday and every Friday for 6 weeks, we are going to run a basics of Bhagavad-Gita course. And in this course, we will tackle the 5 main subject matters that are contained in the Gita. As Maharaj has already said, that the Bhagavad-Gita is the essence. But in Hinduism, unfortunately, there is a lot of some sort of misunderstanding. There's so many parts. And ultimately, as Maharaj had mentioned, all the parts is not taking you to different places. It's like a ladder. There are different rungs on the ladder. They're all taking you to one place only. And that is to become eternally happy. And eternally happy can only happen when you understand who you are, who God is, and what is your relationship with God. As Maharaj has summarized that to be the definition of Dharma. Once you understand that, that is like you've understood the Gita. So, starting from next Friday, from the 8th, we are going to be starting the course at the ISKCON Nyali temple from 7:30 to 8:30. So please try and come and understand the Gita as it is. Thank you.
How do they sign up? How do they sign up?
Okay, we have posters at the back, and there's a registration link. And if you can also fill up some forms, that will help us to register all of you guys onto the course. And in the coming week, we will set up a WhatsApp group and send out reminders and small messages to inspire you to come to the course. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Kirtan. Kirtan. We do a kirtan. Yeah, sure.
Thank you, Maharaj, with this deep and wide wisdom and insights. I hope that all of us will have no more excuses, no ignorance, but will pick up a Gita and read into the supreme teachings. You can also follow the Maharaj on social media. A famous quote by Mahatma Gandhi goes as follows: "Those who look to the Gita will derive fresh joy and new meanings from it every day." On that note, I encourage each and every one of you to carry forward the enthusiasm and gain spiritual knowledge and transformation daily. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you found inspiration and insight from our exploration of the Bhagavad-Gita and its timeless wisdom, and broken free from the shackles of excuses that hinder our growth. To that effect, we have a bookstore. Please get a copy of the Bhagavad-Gita. Alongside it, we have a special book authored by our guest speaker himself. It's called Gita 3, which includes 50 thought experiments, life hacks, and mind exercises, which will make the wisdom and the pages of the Bhagavad-Gita come to life. As Maharaj puts it, he strives to deliver wisdom that breathes. Before we part ways, I would like to extend my heartful gratitude to each and every one here, and for you to participate, and our distinguished speakers, our most appreciation. A special thank you to His Holiness SP Keshav Maharaj for enlightening and penetrating talk, and Mr. Hoshal Gandhi for facilitating such a wonderful discussion. I'd also like to thank our sponsors, volunteers, and event organizers for the dedication and hard work in making tonight's event a success. Your support is truly appreciated, and they are His Grace Anandas Prabhuji for giving inspiration and guidance in hosting this event, His Grace Govind Prem Prabhuji for organizing Maharaj's trip to Kenya and bringing him to Mombasa, Shri Namnatwanik Majan for your unconditional support and homage, the music DJ for his excellent sound system, Mr. Sanjay Pathak for live stream and photography, Mr. Sachin Tanna for the projector screen facility, Mr. Harsh Patel for transport and logistics, Navnath Bhagini Utkarsh Kendra for the support in decoration and management, Mr. Bahadur, Mr. Sanjay, and the whole Govinda's team for preparing the mouth-watering Mahaprasad we will have shortly, Mr. Rishit Shah and family for getting everyone here registered so that you can grasp the chance to connect with the temple and the Almighty. If by error I have forgotten to mention any selfless supporters, with forgiveness, we thank you. As we end this evening, let us express our gratitude to the Divine, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, the source of all wisdom and inspiration, for guiding us on this journey of self-discovery and spiritual awakening. Hare Krishna. Can I request to have a kirtan, please? A 5 minutes kirtan, please. Sure.
Hare Krishna, everyone. So now we have been sitting a long time, so we request everyone to please stand. So we are going, come Kamita, come. So we are going to be singing the Hare Krishna mantra, so please repeat after me. Hare Krishna. That was like 1, and we need to get to 10. Okay? So a little louder. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Okay, that was about 3. So we have to go louder, okay? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Okay, that was about 6. I think you can still go to 10. Okay, I want you to give everything now from your heart. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare. So we're going to sing. Kamita will sing the Maha Mantra once, and then we will all repeat. And we want to teach you a very special dancing today. So it's very simple. You take your right leg and you put like this. Can you do it with me? And then you put your left leg and you go like this. Okay, can we get a beat? Okay? Yeah, can you clap also? And you can dance. Singing and dancing, everyone can. So Kamita will sing and then we all repeat. Is that okay? Can you say Hare Krishna if you're good? Okay.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bolo, bolo, Hari Bol.
Everyone can put their hands up. Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Okay, everyone, don't be shy. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare.
One more time, everybody, Hari Bol.
Everyone together.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
from your hearts,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, oh Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bolo,
Hare Krishna, Hare. Okay, we need everyone to be more enthusiastic. Please clap, clap. Now you see this little girl here, look at her. Parvati, her name is. Look how she's dancing. When you dance, don't worry about who is around you. Open your heart. Sing Hare Krishna, put your hands up, don't worry. Shall we turn the lights off? Shall we turn the lights off? Please dance.
Okay. I go. 1, 2, everybody. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Okay, the men only, Prabhus.
Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.
Matajis, can you do better than them? Can you do better than them? Go, Hare. Matajis, can hear you. This side. Okay, men, can you do better than them? Show them how to do it. Prabhus! Matajis, one last time. Show them how to do it. Very nice. Okay, everybody, let's go. One
together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
One more time.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Let me hear everybody. Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hari Bol. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora, Hari Bol. Nitya Gaur Premanande.
Hari Hari
Sankirtan Jai Jai Ki.
Any questions? So we must dance, we must sing. When you're happy, then you sing. And when you're happy, you dance. If we can't sing and dance for God, then what is the purpose of life? Therefore, today we gave you a taste. Next time when you have the opportunity, don't waste it. Life is short. We're here for some time. Sing, dance, remember the teachings of Krishna, and make your life successful. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki, Harinam Mahamantra ki, Kali Yuga Pavana Harinam Sankirtan ki, Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki, Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari 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 Bol. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So today we are here, we listening, but this journey is not first journey. It has to be continue. So we have the program for the all age people. We have program for the children. We have program for the youth. We have program for the general public. We have program for the ladies. So in Hare Krishna Temple Nyali, every Saturday we have program for the youth and children, and for the general public in Hindi classes, sometime in Gujarati. So the time is 7 o'clock the Aarti, 7:30 to 8:30 there is a classes for the youth, children and the general public. You can come and attend in English. So the classes will be in youth and children in English, and general public also there is class in Hindi. So you can take the advantages for this, because this today is enlightenment, but this enlightenment has to be preserved and has to be practiced in our daily life. So you have this very important place here that is called not temple. Hare Krishna Temple is not only temple, is educational institutions. You can come even every day there is a class in class of the Bhagavad-Gita. Every day from 7:30 to 8:30 you can attend. If you cannot come every day, at least once a week, Saturday you can come and join, and then this spiritual enlightenment will be there, and then we can practice in our life. Then we can get real advantage of these teachings of Bhagavad-Gita and Bhagavatam. So you are welcome every Saturday, and also we have program every Saturday in town here, Ganjoni, and Sunday. Saturday we have preaching for the African preaching. Even you can join every Saturday. We have the Onkar Prabhu giving the class at what time? 5 to 7 every Saturday. We have HK Community Center just opposite the Ganjoni temple. 5 to 7. So even you can join there. In English there is a classes. There is many students they come. You can join every Saturday. I mean, there's Sunday also we have the program in the temple in Ganjoni, 7:30 to 8:30. If you cannot come to the Nyali, you can join in Ganjoni. Yeah, also we are live in Facebook, ISKCON Nyali. If you can check it, you can get it. I mean, lectures, if you can sometimes miss, you can attend the lecture on the online. I mean, Sunday we have the program on Bhagavatam, lecture on Bhagavatam at sharp 12 o'clock. We have the classes, and all the after discourses there is a prasad event. There is a lunch, there is a dinner, so there is no need of going back to cook again. With this facility we are giving. That time you invest to our temple for the learning, and then prasadam is there ready for you. So all you are invited for these discourses. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki, so prasadam is ready for everyone. So please have the prasad, then go. Hare Krishna.